Good morning, everybody, and welcome. My name is Jamie Jeffrey. I'm the Assistant Director for the Sustainability Office, and it's lovely to see all of you here. We appreciate you taking time out of your days to come here and join us for a lovely lunch provided by Sodexo, and to be with us for the 5th annual... Chartwell. There's always one blunder that happens during a presentation, so I got mine out of the way. Everybody else can relax. All fellow presenters will just know that I did a... So it is the 5th annual, we know that because I wrote it down, awards program for the Green Awards. I'd like to thank all of you for being here again. I do want to reference on the back of your programs today are all of the different winners who have won this award in the past. And really want to show you the true collaborative nature of this program. We've been doing this now, trying to highlight the good works of sustainability throughout the university, and recognize that this is not something that Susan and I do in our office. This is something that our community has really embraced, and it's our job to try to highlight and illuminate what those things are. So there are a variety of people who have received this, departments throughout time. Some of those are listed here. I want to recognize at least one person, Lauren Watka. Where's Lauren at right now? Lauren's over here. Lauren's one of our previous student awardees who came back for this award. So wanted to, again, recognize and thank her for that. It's always nice to have our alumni return to us. Today's schedule is fairly straightforward. We're going to have a number of people who are going to be taking the podium to illuminate a variety of projects that are going on. Truly an interdisciplinary process that involves both people in the classroom as well as out of the classroom doing really great work across campus. So I will be introducing those as we go. This morning, however, I get to introduce the Chancellor to begin with. A few things to note about Chancellor Grossman. In her time at Florida International University, their campus there was involved in a number of sustainable programs as well. They have a Green Office Certification program, which sounds really delicious, that I'd like to jump into as well. That they are the #1 recyclers in the state of Florida in the Recyclemania program, and also have got an organic farmers market that they run there as well. So with that, I'd like to invite Dr. Davina Grossman to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Jamie. You know, what happened just reminded me of this very famous incident where somebody was asked to speak at an event that was hosted by Pepsi, and the person in the first sentence said, "Thank you very much to Coca-Cola for hosting the event." But that's all good. We got that over with, Jamie. But anyway, thank you to you, and thank you, Susan. Where is Susan? Oh, you're sitting right there. Thank you for hosting this and many other forums and meetings on sustainability. I think what I mentioned there in your description of how I was involved in sustainability at FIU was that I was with the Sustainability Boot Camp at Harvard because we were one of the recipients of the sustainability grants for the South Florida region. It's a very long geography, but our university was part of this team, and so I was with a team of 5 people that went to the Sustainability Boot Camp. So that was planning for sustainability for an entire geography where the university was a partner. So I think something similar is what we're trying to do here, is to have many partners. I want to thank everyone, especially Susan in her office, and want to welcome all of you to the UMass Dartmouth Green Day and Awards celebration. And in looking across the room, I can see a cross-section of everyone, right? We have faculty, we have students, we have staff, we have members of our community here. And I think this is a reflection of the multidisciplinary and multi-sectoral cross-cutting commitment that we need in order to establish a sustainable future. We all have to work together across boundaries in order to be able to be successful. Sustainability is a collaborative venture. The efforts we are making here for healthy social and environmental stewardship at this campus and in our communities surrounding our campus reflect the kinds of efforts that are happening across the globe. So it's not just here, but all over the world. We see here in our Green Award recipients individuals who have gone above and beyond. their basic job descriptions to reach out and share their passion, share their research about sustainability, and their values for a future in which we can all thrive together. And the recipients are those individuals who recognize that the alternatives are simply not acceptable. Each year, more people attend UMass Dartmouth's Green Day celebration, as evident here by the numbers of people present, because each year more and more people become aware of the impact on this planet and the impact on the inhabitants when we do not focus on sustainability. When my predecessor, Chancellor McCormack, signed the American College and University President's Climate Change Commitment in 2007, we knew far less than we know now about climate change. We know so much more now. There's an enormous amount of research that's being done, including here at UMass Dartmouth. One of the very first things I discovered last summer when I arrived was that our School of Marine Science and Technology, for example, had been collecting samples in Buzzards Bay that show a steadily increasing temperature change on Buzzards Bay for 25 years. How many people can boast 25 years worth of data collection on Buzzards Bay? That's one example. We've seen record heat waves last summer, for example, in the Midwest. And recently we've seen all kinds of inundation, flooding, storm surges, and we know that climate change is already impacting us right now. In fact, I was just reading, there's a study from the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences that show that we will be losing about 47% of our vineyards because of the change in temperature, and therefore that will affect many things, including our wine production and our wine consumption, if we care about that. And also if we care about the economy. There's a big economy around vineyards and wine production. So addressing climate change requires leadership, and today we are here to honor those leaders, individuals and departments, staff members and community members who have risen to the challenge to tackle this problem of climate change as we are confronting it. We are also here to listen to what is happening across the campus and to challenge ourselves to do more, much more in the future. Because as we know, the time is against us. You know, when you look at the pictures, I was at Glaciar San Rafael in Patagonia, in Chile. I was also in Patagonia, but I was also in Glaciar San Rafael. You could see they plotted where the glacier was decades ago and where it is now, and you can see it from the mountains. They have markings on it. So you could see how it's shrunk in size and volume. That's a very clear evidence of the impact of climate change. So sustainability requires all of us to partner with each other. And in order to form partnerships, we need gatherings like this where we can know each other and be familiar with each other so that we can know each other's strengths and abilities, our willingness to share, and to reach across the aisle, to reach across the boundaries, to ask ourselves, what more can I do to make a difference in order to sustain this earth and to help systems regain healthy balance? Some of the most important research going on around the world is interdisciplinary research. We know, and I mentioned this in my inaugural address, we know that some of the breakthroughs in science, many of the breakthroughs in science, in fact, occur not within the discipline, but in the intersection of the disciplines. And so it's very critical when we're looking at sustainability that we foster research across the disciplines. So it's transdisciplinary, and we're using a framework so that we're all looking at the phenomenon in the same way and therefore be able to address it in all of its angles and all of its aspects. It requires a business acumen. It requires knowledge of policy. It requires environmental engineering, material science, innovation in manufacturing. There's a lot that could be done there, we know. Social science and leadership, in cross-continental governance. These are topics that are being tackled here at the University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth. Today, the Green Awards we are presenting recognize people who made a decision that they will go beyond what is expected of them in their daily personal choices. We all have choices, right? And in making those choices, our values guide us. And so this is one of those values. And in their work, they make a choice to help sustain our environment. These individuals, who are our leaders, give us a sense of what it's like to have sustainability permeate our lives, our goals, and our values. I hope we are all inspired by them and inspired by their efforts here at the university and by the actions of these award winners. I'm hoping that we are inspired to examine our own actions so that we could do more in order to sustain our Earth and our planet. So let us recognize all of our recipients this afternoon and challenge each of us, that each of us will examine our own actions and our own values so that we can do more, much, much more, so that those glaciers that I saw in Chile, we can at least impede their shrinkage so that our children and grandchildren can see what glaciers are like. It's quite frightening because the speed at which we're doing the work is not fast enough to catch up with what's happening with our environment. So to our leaders, we congratulate all of you and please challenge us to do more, both here at the university and as individuals. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Just as a heads up, there is certainly plenty of lunch available if anybody's looking for seconds. Help yourselves. This is going to be a little bit of a free-floating rest of the afternoon where we'll get a chance to hear from a variety of presenters. At this point, I would like to invite to the podium Tara Rajini to talk with us about the Living Classroom Project and some students that she can get to work with.
Then you shut that light off.
I know.
So, Sarah.
So the next piece, we're going to present some of the work that students and faculty are sustainability. And the theme behind this is a living classroom. Those of us who are teaching in sustainability have sort of always followed the philosophy that the best teaching doesn't happen in the classroom. Traditionally, it happens outdoors. We have a huge forest, we have swamps, we have fields, we have this unique built environment with an interesting architecture, and we have an organizational system that are all things that places where students can learn how sustainability really works and have a chance to apply what they learn and make changes. So that is the theme of everything you're going to see from here on out. We have a large group of students. We're going to start with Chris Jordan, who's the president of the Outdoor Club, and we will go from there. Okay.
All right, again, thank you everybody for coming today. I am the president of the Outdoor Club at UMass Dartmouth. Our mission is to build lasting connections between all the students here at the university and the world around us. We're a student-led organization consisting of over 160 members. We put on over 50 events a year. and so much more. Our connection to the forest, many of our members have their first experience here at UMass Dartmouth going into the forest. I grew up in the outdoors, and it's kind of crazy for me to think that people haven't had that experience yet. So it's really nice for them to have that right in our own backyard. We do a lot of outdoor skill building, and it's just a nice place to retreat from the day-to-day life. Some of our future plans include putting in a canoe launch to Del Pond, establishing a disc golf course on campus, creating a ropes course, and opening an outdoor education center at some time in the future. I'd also like to invite everybody to our Earth Day cleanup event. This was scheduled for this Saturday. Plans for rain. We'll be moving that to next Saturday, starting around 10 a.m. at the wind turbine in Dell Field. We'd appreciate your help beautifying this campus. So thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Professor Stacy Ladd-Savage, and I teach sculpture in the Department of Fine Arts in the College of Visual and Performing Arts. And for the past 25 years, we have been putting sculpture on this campus. We have an annual outdoor sculpture exhibition, which we include undergraduate and graduate sculpture students. And we invite them to create sculpture that engages the idea of nature and art and making art for non-traditional settings. So last fall, I had a wonderful picnic with Jamie and Laura Stone. Jamie took us on the golf cart, and we went out to the turbine and the Cedar Dell Pond, and we brewed the idea of moving this well-established outdoor sculpture show under the turbine out on the nature trail. So just yesterday, this is very, very fresh, it's opening at 1 o'clock today. We have 17 beautiful, incredibly ambitious sculptures that students have been working on all year long. There are models and proposals that they created on display in Group 6. And the only thing I ask this wonderful group of people is we've had a terrible history of vandalism. And it's almost stopped this incredible educational experience for our artists in CVPA. Please, you guys, Outdoor Club, everybody, please help us protect the artwork. It's from the turbine down Tree Swallow Trail to the Old Westport Road. And come by today, I've got students there to give you tours. We've got signage, we've got maps, so please come see us in sculpture. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Alex, and talk a little bit about the forest here. I was in a campus biodiversity class last semester, and we basically spent all our time on the forest. That was our classroom, so it's an idea of the living classroom there. Out there, we go out and learn tree identification techniques, how to properly measure the tree's width, height, age, bunch of other things. And then we took these and we applied them to a CFI plot up there, which is a continuous forest inventory. And with that, you're able to get an idea of what the health of the forest is up there and get a sense of the quality of the habitat and rates at which the trees are growing and storing carbon for us. Basically, going out and doing this, this learning experience is just really fun. Like it's relaxing to go out there and do these things, and it's also eye-opening. You see a lot of things out there that are really interesting, and it makes me want to keep taking classes like this. And I think a lot of other people end up seeing a lot of these things and do the same thing. Like the sustainability 450 class last semester went out there and decided that they were going to do trail cards. They were going to design some trail cards to enhance that learning experience out there. But overall, I think that having that resource out there, being able to go out and learn like this, having those opportunities is the type of stuff that really brings me here to UMass Dartmouth. And in the future, I'm going to graduate next semester, but in the future, I hope I can come back and see what else is being done out there, and what other classes are out there, what people are learning. Thanks.
All right, and I'm going to talk about Green Navigators. I'm the coordinator of Green Navigators, and what is Green Navigators, you may ask? It is the student subset of the Sustainability Office. We work with a group of about 20 students, and we're working directly to impact the campus through student involvement. We're a work-study group, but we also have volunteers. We do a lot of really amazing projects and activities to get our name out there and show that the students really do care about the campus. One of the most recent things that we've done that has been sort of a very public campaign has been for the Green Fee. We have more information out there if you want to get the whole nitty-gritty on it. But it did pass undergrad ballot at a margin of 2-1, which was a huge step for our office, and we're really hoping that through that we can get a lot more work done. Within Green Navigators, we have teams, and we have the farmers market team in the past. We no longer have that right now, but that may be something for the future. We have the forest and garden team, which works doing trail clearings in the forest and doing a lot of forest maintenance using the student forest and working on the community garden, which we have a lot of projects going for the summer, working with autistic children or young adults and helping them learn organic gardening. We have an energy team promoting energy conservation and thoughtful use of energy. We also have the bike team, which it's focusing right now on getting a bike share placed on campus and working on getting bike storage, shelters, things like that. We also have recycling, so if you've noticed the little tiny blue bins all around campus, you can thank our recycling team for that. We also have research that we've been doing, but if you want to learn a lot more about the specific projects we've been working on, we have tables back there with posters up. It's been really great working with Green Navigators, and I think that the Green Navigators deserve a lot of credit. Just a round of applause for that.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany, undergrad president of Net Impact. And Net Impact is a nonprofit global organization with students and professionals using their business skills for a positive social, environmental, and economic impact. Our chapter, our UMass Dartmouth chapter, is 30 of 230 global chapters that have received gold status, which is the highest honor. And the UMass Dartmouth chapter is involved of 3 world firsts and 2 national firsts with the help of Professor Kelsey's class. And we also represent this at our annual meetings. Our next meeting will be in California next October. And going to these meetings, actually 2 of our past members have landed jobs from networking. So what do? We do campus greening, curriculum change, professional development, and community impact. Benefits of this is to help land jobs, like I said, experience for resume, knowledge for the future, networking, and of course having fun. So one of our projects is joining with Junior Achievement. For those of you who don't know, Junior Achievement is the world's largest organization educating students K through 12 on business, and some of their programs are economics and entrepreneurship. We decided to create a sustainable curriculum. Hopefully this curriculum will be copied and adopted nationally, since they don't have anything like this. And the other benefits are also teaching skills for our students, spreading valuable knowledge locally, and the side benefit of potentially attracting some of these locals to attend UMass Dartmouth. Another part of our mission is to continuously engage our student body in the service learning experience of teaching K through 12 locally, and maybe we can even get credits for it one day. And that's it. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rob Mahler. I work with Brittany in Net Impact as the graduate president, and I'm also in the MBA program. Past is sustainability reporting. It's the compilation and communication of economic, environmental, and societal indicators. And these indicators impact not only the reporting entity, but the local communities, stakeholders, employees, and surrounding environments. As I said, UMass Dartmouth has been producing reports. We also worked with the city of Baltimore and the town of Dartmouth. And because of these reports, we have been in contact with international organizations, different universities, and they would like to work with us in replicating these types of reports for themselves. So why is that important? Over 95% of the largest 250 companies in the world, nearly every single one produces sustainability reports on an annual basis. Over 4,000 organizations worldwide also practice this exercise annually. Because of these reports, it leads to better relationships with financial backers. It boosts morale, recruitment, retention, and motivation of employees, and thereby boosting innovation and learning. In the 2012 UMass Sustainability Report, we surveyed almost 1,500 stakeholders, students, alumni, prospective students, neighbors, business owners, faculty, and staff. 82% of them said that sustainability was important to them. 70% were interested in reading the report and looking at the contents of the report. 90% of them said that, or 90% rather, of prospective students that we surveyed said that sustainability issues were their school choice. 98% of them, of all stakeholders, said that by knowing what UMass Dartmouth is doing, they had a better outlook on UMass Dartmouth. And 92% of the prospective students said that they were more likely to choose UMass knowing what our sustainability initiatives are. A few milestones for the university. In 2010, we produced the first A-level report in the world. The standard by which we go is GRI, Global Reporting Initiative. It's the most widely used sustainability reporting standard in the world. A-level means that we reported on over 62 indicators. And then again in 2012, this past year, we had an A-plus level report. And the plus there means that we got a third-party verification on the sources of the data. Some of the highlights that we realized were over the past 3 years, we have reduced carbon emissions by 25%. Our students collectively have volunteered over 190,000 hours to the community per year. And our energy efficiency has led to reduced costs. We found out that we've saved over $700,000 by implementing windmill, solar panels, by using a carpool system, among others. And so now to get onto the municipalities. We worked with the City of Fall River, the Mayor's Office, in producing their first sustainability report. This report is, along with UMass Dartmouth's report, a big deal again because it's the first A-level GRI guided report by a city in the world, and the first GRI guided sustainability report done by a city. We also worked with the town of Dartmouth, and same thing there. First A-level GRI report done by a town in the world, and first GRI guided report for a town in the U.S. Next, I'd like to introduce a few classes worked on different sustainability projects over this past semester. I'd like to bring up now Dan Murphy, and he can tell you a little more about that.
In this presentation, we had planned a quick introduction of what you're about to see. This is partly an answer to your call, Chancellor Grossman, for constructive ideas from the students. Right around the time that you made that call, we were deciding in a few different classes what to do with action plans. And then we looked at each other and thought, my God, there's no bigger, cooler project, action plan, than to figure out how to not only make the world sustainable, but make the school sustainable financially, in terms of our morale, in terms of alumni support. So everything that you're about to see is supposed to be a test of an idea that would make us money, save us money, or boost morale. And a special shout out, actually, before we forget, because we don't thank each other enough. Thank you to Susan. Thank you to Jamie Jackhart. Some of the ideas that just went by you, the idea of working with the town of Dartmouth, not overlooking our own town when we're doing stuff for Fall River, that was Jamie's idea. So thank you, Jamie. Without further ado, Chancellor Grossman, here's the answer to your request for ideas.
Thank you all for having us today. So for our project, myself, Jamie, and about 13 other sustainability students, we did a little dumpster diving. We basically went through over a ton of trash and sorted it by recycling, trash, food, and paper.
Based on the university's removal cost, which are $75 for every ton of trash, $35 for every ton of recycling, and we received $15 for every ton of paper. If we saw the recycling on just this ton alone, we could have saved $40.
Last year in 2012, we ended up hauling away 4,671 tons of trash, and that ended up costing us $385,000.
Using the percentages we derived from analyzing that ton of trash, if the campus sorted the recycling, we could save up to $180,000 a year. What we found was that each building's trash and recycling ratio was directly affected by how many available recycling bins there are. So our main recommendation, if you want to see savings like this, is to put out more recycling bins that are larger and more clearly labeled. Thank you.
I just want to touch on one more thing. We have a big poster in the back with the use of recyclable materials, and we'd like everybody to come by and check it out. We have all the stats on each building and the athletic fields and stuff. So thank you very much for having us.
Next up, Erin Feeney.
Our group focused on sustainable landscaping on campus. We started with a gardenscape that we were given the opportunity to design. You guys are familiar with the campus center. There is a large patch of very well-worn dirt that we did. We decided to go with a xeric gardenscape, which, if you're unfamiliar with that, is a low-impact, low-maintenance, low-water need garden design. To complement that, we also propose across Centennial Way going with a rain garden, which utilizes water in a different way, but they're kind of two sides of the same coin. We also looked into our lawns. We have 180 acres of lawn, but it's not all Kentucky bluegrass, gorgeous lush lawn. A large chunk of it is natural or local shrubbery and prairie grass, including the hills between the parking lot and the buildings and Cedardale Field. Cedardale Field specifically has been deemed by the National Department, or the Massachusetts, I should say, Department of Fisheries and Wildlife as a possible expansion site for endangered white cedar trees. So with our landscapes, we propose reducing our mowing by 3%, which isn't a lot, but would greatly impact the living classroom.
Let's make sure. Yeah, it'll be Colin Allen right now, talking about classroom consolidation.
This project was a classroom consolidation. It's basically consisting of a look at all of the night classes that are currently in session throughout all of the academic buildings. We found that the science and engineering building actually has quite a few empty rooms during this time period. And we decided, let's see if we could try to consolidate by moving some classes into those empty rooms and shut down possibly an entire floor. It was actually very feasible with the first floor of Dion to move all of those classrooms, those night classrooms, into the empty rooms of science and engineering. As a result, we can save just about $100,000 annually. It's very feasible as long as, might be some issues with professors or like might want to, I like this room. But other than that, that's basically it for that. Thank you.
Okay, so I am Raja Nageshwaran, and I led a team of undergrad students to find out which messages work best in saving water and energy consumption in the 6 residential buildings of the Woodlands. And I did this test for a period of 3 weeks, and 1,200 students participated in this, and we could achieve a combined savings of more than $1,000. Now this may not seem a lot, but we found that some messages could get us reductions of around 16%. And there were committed students who achieved 7% reduction even without any flyers or any sort of promotion as such. So I found that if we could replicate this project on a larger scale, get all the resident buildings involved, get more students involved, we could potentially save hundreds of thousands of dollars in energy savings. So I want the RAs to get involved in this project, and I would like to see energy and water conservation projects started right at the start of the semester when the students move in. This way, we could save a lot. And any form of savings means a lot to the university right now. So I would like to ask you, can we do it? You must. Yes. Thank you.
Hi. So this graph compares library thermostat readings to recorded temperatures outside over a 4-week period. The average temperature inside the library was 75.5 degrees. On April 9th, for example, the temperature reading on the first floor was 80.5 degrees. Many studies concluded that the ideal temperature that yields the most productivity is between 71 and 72 degrees. Any higher or lower, productivity decreases. Furthermore, there's no need to keep the temperature inside the library set so high because the buildings have glass siding, which allows natural sunlight to heat them. A decrease of just 1 degree can reduce costs more than people realize. And Courtney's going to talk to you about the results of the surveys. Hi, my name is Courtney, and for my project, I created 4 surveys that targeted 4 distinct groups here at UMass Dartmouth or associated with UMass Dartmouth. With the help of undergraduates and graduate students, we collected and analyzed 1,200 surveys over the 4 groups, which included prospective students, prospective students, current students, alumni, and international students. And this was all done over the past month. And throughout the slides, I'm going to go over some of the key findings that we found. Here you can see with the prospective students that 88% of the prospective students think that sustainability is important. However, 88% of those students also are unfamiliar with our efforts here at UMass Dartmouth. So as we can see, like 90% care, but 90% don't know about our efforts. And from this side, what we can see is they would be more likely to enroll. Up to 75% would be more likely to enroll if they knew about our efforts here at UMass Dartmouth. So I think that's something that over the future we could do is start to really promote our sustainability efforts because it will attract and recruit more students. We also did phone calls to accepted business students here at UMass Dartmouth that are looking to 97% are still considering UMass Dartmouth as their school for next year. And again, 90% felt that
sustainability efforts were something that were important to them, but again, 90% also didn't know about our efforts here. And again, if they knew about them, they would be more likely to enroll and accept into the business program right away. We surveyed 875 current students here on campus, and it was really interesting with the findings over all 4 groups. I was finding the same thing. 72% feel that sustainability is important, but our own students here on our campus, over 50% of them are unfamiliar with our efforts. And another fact that I found interesting was 54% would take classes in sustainability and would stay here at UMass Dartmouth if they could either take classes or earn a degree. And again, this is just some more findings that we saw. Again, 81% would be really interested in taking outdoor classes with the learning classroom that was discussed earlier on, and also taking classes and doing green jobs and working on personal and sustainability reports. So I think our retention rate could definitely improve if we offered different classes in sustainability and different ways. Again, as you can see, a lot of these findings would be very high. Students would definitely stay here if they could take certain classes in sustainability. We also surveyed our alumni, which ranged from anywhere from 18, our recent grads, to all the way up to over 65. And again, 91% felt that sustainability was important in some part of their lives, but only 45% really were familiar with our efforts here on campus. And those are even, that included our recent graduates as well. So, but a lot of them felt that they would have a more positive feeling towards UMass Dartmouth if they knew about our efforts here on campus. So it would definitely increase loyalty and positive feelings towards the university even more. Again, these are just some more findings. As you can see, it was a pretty even split over all of the age brackets that we surveyed. Again, ranging from 10% with 18 to 25, all the way up to 12% of our alumni for the 65 plus. So I think that they were definitely engaged and aware in our survey, and they helped us to get some pretty good findings. Our final group was international, and again, our international students, 95% felt that sustainability was important to them, but only 46% were familiar with our efforts here on campus. But again, 80% said that they would stay if they could work on a first in the world sustainability reporting, and then would also be interested in taking sustainability classes and or earning a degree. One thing that I want to really point out on this slide is the 8.4% is a reason that international students came to UMass Dartmouth for sustainability, which is low. However, we did find that 30% said that they would ultimately stay here if they could either take classes or earn a degree in sustainability. So it would definitely, again, help with our retention rate with our current students. And if anybody's interested in any more of the findings that I have, or taking a look at these percentages even in further detail, we do have some packets that I can pass out, or I could speak more about it later on in the presentation. Thank you.
We were asked to present all of that within 30 minutes, and we're coming in at 29 minutes and 50 seconds. Again, seriously, right? We know that it is a matter of life and death around the world. Some of the things that we're talking about, ultimately sustainability issues. We know that for our institution, it's going to be a matter of financial life and death, maybe life and death in terms of some people's departments and initiatives. So we hope that we've sown some ideas. Happy to discuss them further, maybe in the strategic planning